Our species has always been a curious one. From our roots in East Africa, we've made extensive use of tools, innovative methods of communication, and expanded across the continents of Asia, Oceania, then Europe, and the Americas. From there, we've innovated complex political structures, occupied parts of Antarctica, and even walked on the moon. But as we set our sights even further, to even more remote parts of our solar system, and eventually the galaxy, we grow ever more aware of how small and insignificant our civilization truly is. The developments of modern science and statistics have led many to ask, are we truly alone in the universe? Are we the only living things in our universe? It's a question many people take for granted. The observable universe is about 90 billion light years in diameter. There are at least 100 billion galaxies each, with 100 to 1,000 billion stars. Recently, we've learned that planets are very common as well, and there are probably trillions upon trillions of habitable planets in the universe, which means there should be no shortage of opportunity for life to develop and exist. This line of argument goes to explain why figures such as Bill Nye, Elon Musk, and Neil deGrasse Tyson can be heard saying there's no doubt that alien life exists somewhere out there. Isn't that interesting? In the matter of maybe 3 decades, we've gone from aliens existing being a crazy fringe belief to it being the typical everyday belief. You've got to be crazy if you don't believe in aliens. Keep in mind, all that's really changed in this time is that we know there are more instances of opportunities for alien life. But this ignores the other half of the equation. An argument based solely on the vastness of the universe misses a very important component. It is perfectly plausible that the probability of life starting from scratch, that which we call abiogenesis, is a number that is so small that it greatly outweighs the number of opportunities out there in the universe for life to start on its own. For example, if the probability of abiogenesis is, say, 1 in septillion, then the case for a crowded universe absolutely evaporates. In such a scenario, statistically speaking, we would be the only success in the universe. Let's be clear, in no way does this alone disprove the possibility of alien life existing somewhere out there. And indeed, every discovery of a habitable exoplanet increases the likelihood of there being extraterrestrial life. But without knowing the probability of abiogenesis, you don't really know how much more likely each of these discoveries is to make alien life exist. The answer isn't that it's unlikely for alien life to exist. The answer is that we simply don't have enough information. So then, if we still don't know the answer to that big question, then what's going on here? Well, I think we can find that answer to that question thousands of years ago. You see, before the big Abrahamic faiths like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, along with no shortage of other faiths, many ancient civilizations had pantheons of various gods that they worshipped not out of love, but out of fear. When looking back at these civilizations, many of us tend to look down upon their tendency to use religious entities to explain completely natural phenomena. And yet, look at exactly what we're doing right now. You see one vague picture of a UFO, or the Chinese rover on the moon take one hazy shot of a rock far away, and suddenly you're petitioning the US government for all the info it has on UFOs. By the way, I'm sure the US government loves you thinking that they're somehow hiding UFOs on Earth. It makes it much easier to continue their tests of very advanced stealth aircraft. That, or what's even more likely, the radar feed on these aircraft not providing an exact image and instead a distorted one. Isn't it convenient that the only clear photos we have of UFOs are the ones we've confirmed are hoaxes? What I'm trying to say here isn't that there can't be aliens out there. What I'm saying is that our tendency to ascribe supernatural, or in this case extraterrestrial, causes to extraordinary occurrences is less an example of humans being more scientific, but more this. As Western civilization becomes less religious in the traditional sense, we find other things to believe in. We love believing in things bigger than ourselves. Because regardless of how scared you claim to be of spirits or aliens, the real thing you're truly afraid of is that we're truly all there is in the universe. That we are the only one and only example of life or intelligence in the universe. That would mean a whole lot more responsibility for taking care of things like, say, the planet. But that's neither here nor there. I'll leave the guessing game up to you. I've done my part. And now I've got to blast off to space.